How's it going, people? Vlog number 2. If you haven't watched my first video, which went up I think about a week ago now, click on the channel, whilst you're there, click subscribe and have a look at it. I can't introduce myself. A couple of funny things happened. Some knob in a car on the motorway wouldn't let me through. Police horse shit its pants when I started my bike up. Yeah, have a little watch. But anyway, today's video is reviewing this, which is my Quadzilla Xlc 500 2016. We're going to do some pros and we're going to do some cons, because there is some cons to it, unfortunately, but there is to everything. They're not big ones, just little things. So we're going to start with the engine. It is a 500cc single cylinder Subaru made engine. Says it on the side. Everyone always notices that and goes, "Oh, you've got a Subaru engine." I'm like, yeah. But they use it in the Polaris Predator 500, same engine. Always, I always knew them as quick as shit bikes. Oh, you fucking prick, what are you fucking doing? Knob, man. Dickhead. Go on, man. What was that? Dickhead, man. Oh, mate. Right, let's get back to this video. I ain't letting him ruin my day. I don't know why I'm pissed off. He's gone. Road rage is long. Ain't worth it, man. It really ain't. So I have to keep looking at this. So I've got my bullet points. I just genuinely forget what I'm talking about. Like now, I've got it in front of me and I'm still stuttering. So yeah, reverse. It's perfect. You have to get off the bike and push it, because I think this is 198 kg dry weight. So when you got full of fuel, oil, everything else, I don't know what you're pushing, 240, 250. So pushing it about is a bit long. You can do it, but it is a bit long. So you got the reverse, which is good if you get stuck when you're off-roading. If you go something through too deep, or you go through some water and you don't anticipate how deep it actually is, when you get stuck, you can pull it back in reverse. Because a few years ago when I had my 450, the reverse broke, the cable broke, never fixed it. I was off-roading just round the corner from here, and I hit a massive amount of mud. I got stuck, couldn't get it out because I had no reverse. Got off the bike, it was a nightmare. I had to get in the water, kneecap deep, lift the bike up, which weren't nice. Ruined my day, to be honest. I was soaked. So yeah, reverse is a plus. A lot of 450s don't have it. This is obviously a 500. I think the 700 Raptors do have it. So the reliability, my 450 eventually went wrong, but I used to like literally sink it underwater and just have the handlebars sticking out. I used to put my feet up on the handlebars and it got water in the engine, so that's my fault. But other than that, it was sweet. And this, from what I can tell so far and from online, is exactly the same pretty much. They're pretty solid. What I think goes wrong with them the most is, from what I understand, electrics. Got a good mechanic who knows quads well, and he's said this as well to me. So yeah, it's more electrical faults really. I mean, you've got the obvious stuff which is on all quads, like rear axle bearings, which are a prick. They're impossible to do on your own as well, so you have got to get them done properly. I can't do them on my own. I've struggled like mad doing the other ones. On the 450, just weren't worth it in the end. See, they're reliable. for 3.5 grand. I mean, the price itself is just brilliant, I think. 3.5 grand, and you've got an absolute beast of a quad. You can get bottom end ones, like price wise, for like 2.5 probably. They are dogs, but you can drive them, do you know what I mean? So this is one of the pluses of having a quad, I think, is being able to do things like this. It's the bollocks, mate. I have got off-road tyres on. There is no grip on these things, man. When it's wet on the road, I can't even put the power down. This thing just spins and slides out. So down here is exactly the same. So this is one of the perks of a quad. Like, even on a motorbike this would be a nightmare, like you know, on a super motor, but you're just going to slide out most of it. These are everywhere, these roads as well. So if you just look it up online, just type in byways near me or green lanes near me, you'll find them. But the only fucking thing is you get horses down here and they hate you down here, but you're allowed. And dog walkers, you get dog walkers that think they know the rules and you're not allowed down here, but definitely are. Yeah, this is one of the big pluses for me of a quad, because just things like this, it's good fun. Cheers, mate. Oh, he looked happy, didn't he? And zoom. So yeah, this is one of the pluses for me. So this is the Pro. The other thing I love about this bike is it's got a fuel gauge. That might not really mean a lot to some of you, but on a bike it makes your life so much easier. Like, you got to look in the tank and wobble it about, shine your torch in, and that is there. You can see it. That is there. So I watched a few reviews last night on bikes to kind of gauge what everyone likes to hear about, and there's a fellow with a Raptor and he was talking about the compression being down in the 10s and the 12s, and it's better because you haven't got to rebuild it as often and all that. So I had a little look at what this is, and this is 10. So if it's a bonus on the Raptor, it's a bonus on this, which basically means it will last longer. So they are made to last. They're not made to do a couple thousand miles, rebuild them and start again. But that would be long. So the reason the axle bearings go on these, on all quads so easily, mainly, is because they're made for off-roading these. So roads are just too hard and unforgiving for the rear axles. So these people that put a wider axle on, spacers, make the back wider, all they're doing is putting more tension on that rear axle, on the bearings, and that's when they go quicker. And that's why a lot of the Raptors they go, because they got more power, and pretty much all of them are wider and they got spacers on them and all that, which I get for handling. I get it, because the handling on these things is crap. But that's true, because when you plant it and you want to go forward, you ain't got LSD, so they just both back wheels are spinning at the same speed at the same time. There's no LSD to help you corner, so that is why they feel sketchy when you first get on them, because you can't lean them like a bike. So back to the price, there's not many quads you can get as good as this for the same price. There's like Raptors, you ain't gonna, if you do get one for this price, it's either going to be off-roading, for off-road use only, or it's going to be a dog. I mean, this has been looked after from what I can tell so far anyway. Yeah, ain't let me down yet either, so I think it's a good bit of kit. Now we're going to list some cons of the bike. There's two things that bug me on this. One that massively bugs me is the battery. It's on show underneath the back left panel. In my eyes, if you've got an off-roading, that should be tucked away under the seat. Because for one, if you go off-roading, it's going to get soaking and muddy and covered in shit, and the terminals are all going to rust and just be crap. And then also, if you hook up an alarm to this, they just cut the wires. It's stupid. Quads are so easy to pinch, that's the problem. The ignition system's so basic on them, and they can be picked up and thrown in the van. So you got to be careful, man. Look after your quads, invest in a good lock. You can just all you can do is make it as hard as possible. If they want it, they're going to get it. Do you know what I mean? And they'll always find a way. Just make it as hard as possible so it's too long for them to do. And the other thing is I find about this bike is, so I like to use the back brake a lot more than the front brake. I don't really use the front brake massive amount, and after a little while it goes soft and spongy. I don't know if any bike would do that, or it's just the brakes on these. The front brakes sharp as anything all the time because I barely use them, and it's probably because I overuse them. I only really use the back brake. It's just a habit. I've got to get out of it, so it's my fault really. But that is it. But that's all I've got. The battery and the brakes. The brakes I can just be solved by not being a melt and using the back brake all the time, and do use the front brake. And the battery, there is a mod where you can relocate it, if I'm correct. You relocate the air filter and you can get the battery in next to it, or so I haven't looked into too much, but you can get the battery into the airbox so it is encased in, it is protected, which should be already. It should just be under the seat. There's no reason for it to be on show. And I think, if I'm correct, you can correct me on this because I'm just going off what I've been told by someone else, that the Raptors or the YZFs, one of the Yamaha bikes, do exactly the same. So I just don't get it, because they're for off-roading and all this shit you go through gets flicked up there. But yeah, that's it, innit? That's all I've got. Other than that, I love this thing. It's quick, top speed. People online say like 96. There's a review page I read that said 92. I've had it up to 94 on the clock, obviously on private land where you're allowed. But I think the gauge will probably be out at the top end a little bit. So I'm going to say 84. I'm going to knock 10 miles per hour off, 12 miles per hour off what my clock said. That is still quick on one of these things. When you're doing that and you don't feel like you can turn anywhere, it's quick enough. So, and you don't really go that fast anywhere, because if you want to go do motorway journeys, you need to go get one of the conversions where you get a big bike engine in it, or get a big bike. So you see on a lot of biker forums, quads get a lot of hate, man. They're for cancel jobs, all these snobby bikers, they can't filter. Go to my last video, you'll see that they can filter, and I've got another bit of footage which there's no point uploading it because it's just a pile of shit really, but it's me going to work down the motorway and I filter the whole of the traffic, like there is not one bit of traffic I don't go through. I just go through the middle like a bike. There's no issues at all. Everyone lets you through. No issues. So you can filter on them. Don't listen to snobby bikers who go, you can't filter on quad bikes on these forums. So they get a lot of hate, but they're fun. And I wear a lid because it's just safer, do you know what I mean? Like, you'll see earlier that geezer pulled out of me. It's exactly like, if he hit me, it'd be exactly like getting hit off a motorbike. And so I don't want to squish my head. Thank you very much. I've got kids and shit, and I want to go home to them. So I just throw a lid on people. It's just safer. Just be careful out there, man, because they are pretty sketchy like at times. Yeah, that's my general thoughts on the bike, really. I'd definitely say if you're thinking of getting one, get one. 100%. It's a no-brainer. If you can afford it, get it. Because worst case what? Sell it. But you ain't going to want to sell it, trust me. I said to a pal of mine, it's the most fun you'll have with your pants on. And he got one and he loves it. They're just a bollock. He didn't get a 500 Quadzilla. Using my mate in the last video, he's got a Can-Am DS450. On a car licence, it's cheap to insure. I think it's like 300 odd quid to insure. But why not? Just do it. Buy one and then come message me on YouTube or get my Instagram at Quadlux_vlogs. Get me on there, we'll go out for a tear. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this, you want to see more, because the green landing was slow, I'd poodle along today, I'd rather just talk. But there will be more stuff coming, and I will be tearing a lot more. Yeah, I don't want to do just, I wanted to review the bike, because I wanted to get a genuine review on there from just a normal bloke, not an American company trying to sell you an advert, or some geezer who drives it, says it's a review and doesn't talk about the actual bike at all, just drives it. But if it's anything you want to know, just comment below and I'm happy to answer any questions you got if I've missed anything, because I do forget stuff. And so I hope I helped you guys kind of make up your mind whether you'd like to buy one of these. If you're looking to buy one, you're looking at this review for an opinion, or if you're just watching the video to watch the channel. And thank you. If you could just like and subscribe, that'd be massive to me, massively, because I'm just starting out. As I said before, every single one counts. Yeah, thank you for watching. Keep your eyes out for the next video. Bosh.